So this video is very impromptu. I didn't necessarily plan this out. As you can see, I'm not super ready. I'm not like, I don't have a haircut. I don't know. I'm not dressed up. I am just woke up and I am angry. I'm sad. I'm pissed, and don't have that much faith in humanity that much, because Donald Trump is our president. If you asked me 4 years ago, I would never think I would say that Donald Trump is our president. Just let that set in. A guy who's on trial for potentially raping a 13-year-old. Someone who said racist shit, Islamophobic shit, misogynistic shit, sexist shit, ableist shit, is our president. He's in charge of our free nation. I'll be very honest, yesterday when I was like, I watched the election yesterday, a good bit of the election. I went to sleep right before they announced who won. At first, I was like, I kind of treated it as a bit of a joke because I thought Hillary was going to win. I voted for Hillary. I went out and voted for Hillary. I did my part. I did my due diligence to make sure that she won. I had wine. I had food. I was just like, my girl's going to come through. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Hillary. Trust me, I am not the biggest supporter. I'm not the type of person who's going to just be gallivanting around saying I'm a huge Hillary Clinton supporter, because I'm not. But out of the two candidates, she was the best one, obviously. And I made my decision because her ideals and her views and her policies fell in line with mine to closer than Donald Trump's, obviously. I was holding out hope, and then as the night passed, my hopes just kept getting dashed, to the point where I physically cried last night. I was in literal tears, and I woke up to the news that Donald Trump was our president, and I am just utterly disgusted. Donald Trump ran a campaign on fear-mongering and hate-mongering. His campaign basically tapped into white fear. I don't understand how someone who is educated, who is worldly, who has common sense could sit down and vote for Donald Trump. You can say, oh yeah, he's a great businessman. Well, his 4 failed businesses before cannot attest to that. Him and his countless bankruptcies can't attest to that. But okay, he's a decent businessman. He's a billionaire, whatever. He spent this past year and a half literally tearing this country apart and saying shit that would tear us all apart. He tapped into Islamophobia. He said he wants to build a wall to fucking block out any of the Latinx community who wanted to put a bigger spotlight on Muslims in America. He literally told Billy Bush that he would grab women by their genitals. But you allow that person to be in the highest position in this country. And let's just take racism and all those fucked up comments he said out. Let's just think of this as a simple job. You have Hillary Clinton. We've known about Hillary Clinton for at the very least 30 years. She's a lawyer. She's a senator. She's been a damn good politician. And has over 30 fucking years of experience in politics. Donald Trump, yes, he is a businessman. And yes, he has some successful business. I'll give him that. But he has no fucking political experiences. Just take this as a job interview. America has to decide who can get the job done better. And guess what? They decided to choose the guy with no political experience over the woman who has 30 years of political experience. She may not have said the best things. I don't necessarily agree with how she did Bernie in the primaries. But goddamn, if this woman doesn't have political experience. She's been through the fucking presidential experience before with her husband. And yet you chose a reality star. You chose a racist. You chose a sexist. You chose someone whose whole campaign is based off of fear and hate. America chose hatred yesterday. America chose fear yesterday. They didn't choose equality. They didn't choose equity. They didn't choose thinking about your neighbor or thinking about someone else who could be affected. They chose themselves. White America chose themselves yesterday, and it pisses me off. This has literally been one of the worst years. I know we've all been joking and saying, 2016 has been shitty. This has been one of the worst years in history. 8 years ago, I was super emotional, and I completely cried because I saw a black man getting president. Me as a black man saw another black man literally sit in the White House and say, this is my job now, and I will run this country to the best of my ability. And I was able to look at him and say that my dreams can come true. My dreams are valid because if a black man can sit in this chair, if a black man can rule this country, my goals can be achievable. And now, 8 years later, I was in my bed last night crying because all I could think about is how much we regressed this year. America's came so far, but we regressed so much in a period of a year. To the people who voted for third party, I'm actually not even angry with you guys because guess what? You voted for Gary Johnson. You thought Gary Johnson had a chance. Granted, he didn't have that much of a chance. We all kind of knew that, but you voted honestly. For those who got up there and voted for Harambe or for Hennessy or for somebody who obviously wasn't on the ticket, then you didn't take this election seriously. This is the person who's going to run our fucking country for 4 fucking years. He's going to have a direct effect over you. The Senate's going to have a direct effect over you. The House of Representatives is going to have a direct effect over you. And you took this as a fucking joke. As much as I wanted to go there and be have fun and just want to, bright Beyonce on there, I went there and I did my fucking job because I knew this was going to be a fucking serious election. For those who wrote Harami, for the 15,000 you guys who wrote down a dead gorilla as president, you can go fuck yourselves. I really have no sympathy for you. You have absolutely no right to complain, to say anything, because you led to being the problem. You didn't take this election seriously enough. To those who didn't vote, I understand. We didn't have 2 great candidates this year, and I think it is your right to vote or not to vote. But honestly, don't complain. Don't complain about anything. And to those who are my, I guess, friends or people who I know who voted for Trump, I want you to look to people who are minorities, African American, Latinx, Asian, Native American. I want you to look at those people that Donald Trump denied housing in the 80s. I want you to look at to women who he said he would grab by their genitals. I want you to look at those people who are disabled where he mocked them on stage. I want you to look to your Muslim friends and says he wants to put a bigger microscope over them and he wants them out of the country. And I want you to give them one fucking good reason of why you voted for Donald Trump. You have black people, you have women, you have Hispanics, you have Muslims, you have kids who are just crying right now saying, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in January. I'm scared. I woke up scared. I woke up anxious. It took me literally 2 hours just to get out of bed. And I'm a fucking nervous wreck. So I want you to think about that the next time you go and support Donald J. Trump. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm done. If you voted for Trump, literally unsubscribe from me, unfriend me, block me, mute me. I don't care. I don't stand behind you. I don't support you. You supported a racist, and I can't stand for that. Whatever. Deuces.